The Magical Adventure. Here's a fun, magical, and kid-friendly retelling of the classic Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, a magical adventure for kids. Once upon a sunny afternoon, a curious little girl named Alice was sitting under a tree, feeling quite bored. Her sister was reading a book with no pictures or conversations. And Alice thought, what's the use of a book without pictures or talking? Just then, a white rabbit, wearing a waistcoat and holding a pocket watch, ran past her, shouting, oh dear, I'm going to be late." Alice jumped to her feet. A talking rabbit? Wearing clothes? With a watch? She followed him as he popped down a rabbit hole, and without thinking, Alice followed him and tumbled head over heels into the deep, dark hole. Down, down, down she fell, until she landed in a strange and magical world called Wonderland. Strange doors and magical drinks. Alice found herself in a long hallway with many doors. On a little table, she found a tiny bottle that said, "Drink me." Curious as ever, Alice took a sip and shrank to the size of a mouse. Then she saw a little cake that said, "Eat me." And after a bite, she grew so tall her head touched the ceiling. "Oh no," cried Alice. She didn't know what to do until a golden key appeared, and she unlocked a tiny door that led to a beautiful garden. The Cheshire Cat and the Mad Tea Party. As Alice wandered through Wonderland, she met a grinning, purple-striped cat sitting in a tree, the Cheshire Cat. "Where should I go from here?" asked Alice. "That depends on where you want to go," purred the cat, vanishing slowly until only his grin remained. Next, Alice came across a strange tea party hosted by the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, and a sleepy dormouse. They had no idea what time it was and were always celebrating unbirthdays. They offered Alice tea, riddles, and plenty of silliness, painting the roses red and the Queen of Hearts. Later, Alice wandered into a royal garden where cards were painting white roses red. "The Queen likes red roses," they explained nervously. Suddenly, the Queen of Hearts appeared, shouting, "Off with their heads!" at anyone who annoyed her. She challenged Alice to a silly game of croquet, using flamingos as mallets and hedgehogs as balls. Alice wasn't afraid. She stood tall and spoke bravely when the Queen yelled, "Who are you?" back to the real world. Just as the Queen shouted, "Off with her head!" everything began to spin. Alice heard her name being called again and again. She opened her eyes and found herself back under the tree. It had all been a dream. A wild, wonderful dream of tea parties, talking animals, and magical adventures.